YouTube, what is going on? DA Comics here, and I wanted to make a really quick one-off video because I've been seeing a lot of people getting mad about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness for one specific reason, and I wanted to kind of explain why they're wrong. Now, having said that, this does not mean that if you felt this way that you are wrong. I'm not trying to come at anyone for having this take. In fact, I actually felt this way as well when I first saw Multiverse of Madness, but I want to explain why I think it happened. And that one thing that I'm referring to is the fact that Multiverse of Madness seemingly officially labeled the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Earth-616. Now, there have been references in the past to 616 being the universe, but now that the multiverse is actually getting established, and this was actually in another universe that they labeled it that, it's a little bit more official, so it does kind of make it official that the MCU is in Earth-616. Now, the reason a lot of people have a problem with that is because typically in the history of Marvel, Earth-616 has been the main comic book universe. Now, I know what you're thinking. The MCU is largely based off of the main comic book universe, so of course it's going to be Earth-616. But the reason people have a problem with that is, in a lot of people's headcanon, they like to think of the MCU as just another universe in the vast Marvel multiverse. That is to say that the comic book universe and the cinematic universe exist within the same continuity multiverse. Now, with the MCU being declared Earth-616, this basically means this is not true. This means that there is the Marvel comic book multiverse and there's the Marvel cinematic multiverse, and a lot of people aren't happy about that. They think it would have been cooler if they kept them all in one multiverse. But there is a reason, I believe, why they did this, and I think it's because they had to, because keeping the movies and the comic books in one multiverse was not possible with what they have coming down the line, or at least not practical. Because as we all know, the MCU is now building up towards Secret Wars. That's probably going to be their next big event. That's going to be the next Infinity War. That's going to be the next Endgame. And if you read the Secret Wars comic, specifically the 2015 one that the movie will probably be based on, in that comic book, it features basically the end of the multiverse. All of the universes started having incursions. Basically, universes in the multiverse were stopping to exist as it all led to Secret Wars. And Secret Wars ultimately began with the Ultimate Universe and the 616 universe colliding, and then Battleworld being created by Doctor Doom. This was essentially the end of the Marvel multiverse up to that point. Of course, after Secret Wars, it was then reestablished with some changes, some differences, but the Marvel multiverse then continued from that point on. The reason why I would argue that the cinematic multiverse has to be separate from the comic book multiverse is because Secret Wars already happened in the comic book universe. And so as we're going towards Secret Wars in the MCU, we're gonna see universes ending. We're gonna see Earths ending, and that will ultimately lead down to one Earth remaining, and that is Battleworld. So if the comic book universe and the cinematic universe existed within the same multiverse, that would mean that the comic book universe would have to end in order for Secret Wars to even happen in the movies. Now, I know what you're thinking. That is possible to do, and they could do that. They could have that crossover where the movies are showing the multiverse ending and the comics are showing that as well, but I don't think that's really in their best interest. They've done that already. They did it with the main Secret Wars comic back in 2015. I don't think it makes sense to do it again. It also wouldn't make much sense, because then when you're going into the Secret Wars movie, you'd be thinking, why didn't any of the 616 comic book heroes, cross over into that universe, or whatever the case. So in order to do Secret Wars, which I think we all want them to, they had to have a separate multiverse from the comic books. That's just inherent in what Secret Wars is. So that's kind of my thoughts on that misconception. I feel like a lot of people are frustrated about that. I also felt weird about it when they first said 616. I was like, oh, so it is not the comic multiverse, it's a different multiverse. But after I thought about it more, I realized that reasoning why they probably did that and why they kind of didn't have a choice. But anyway, that's all for this really short video. If you appreciate this video, leave a like button. If you have friends who were confused by it, go ahead and send this video to them so that it can kind of explain it a little bit. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I normally do much longer form videos talking about comic books, movies, everything Marvel related. And if you guys enjoy this type of video, kind of just this one-off me talking about something, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm open to doing more stuff like this. I just need the right topic to talk about. But if you guys enjoy it, it's definitely something I can work on in the future. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.